we're in the low 30s with this snow coming down. And you see the impacts, okay? You spread the salt, you scrape all this off, 2 inches officially, by the way, at Bradley and counting, and you can see that the roads are fine. This is where Interstate 84 meets Interstate 91 here in Hartford. You get on that ramp and you go north, you go right up to Bradley Field, which is where they measure that 2 inches. Treated, untreated. And you can see what it's like. And it doesn't take much to cause accidents this morning. We've had them certainly down toward the south. Hey, we got a chance to talk to the mayor. He stopped by, and this is what he had to say about this storm and the cold that's so far been the calling card of this winter season.
It's been a very cold winter, and that means, number one, we've had to have warming shelters open for quite a while. We've had our cold weather protocol in place. A lot of folks who need to have that place to keep warm and stay overnight.
Right.
Number two, I think there are a lot of folks who are experiencing broken pipes and the stormwater system and other infrastructure that can take a hit when you have a winter that's quite that cold and when you have the fluctuations in temperature like we're seeing.
So are you ready for spring, Mr. Mayor?
Ready for spring as of last November. But
right.
It's I'm a New Englander. I love winter. I love snow. Now that I have this job, I think about snow a little bit differently. But a couple inches, not so bad.
So the snow continues this afternoon. We should start to taper off around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and tonight we drop off into the teens. So whatever is wet and untreated turns into ice. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end of Inga here for New England. As it moves on out, though, again, the sunshine returns tomorrow and a slow warming trend as we head into the weekend, which all eyes on that ice jam up in Kent are going to be having their eyes on. Will it release? Will it get worse? That's the million-dollar question. Reporting from Hartford, I'm meteorologist Jim Cantori.
In Atlanta, the snow has finally come to a stop. You can actually see the backside of this system. Look at that cloud deck as it pushes out of the capital of the South. We saw anywhere from 1.5 up to 3 inches in Noonan, Georgia. Here and around the Atlanta metro area, about 1.5 inches on average. This stuff, it is light and fluffy, so it is really hard, in fact, impossible to make any snowballs with this, but it will be great for sledding. But if you and the kids head outside to do any sledding, you have to bundle up. Temperatures are going to be in the 20s, feeling colder than that with that wind blowing. At least we will get some sunshine. The roads, they are treacherous. This is the on-ramp to get on to 75 South or take 285 East or West. You can see it is snow-packed. We did see a plow out here earlier, and they have treated the roads. They treated the highways. So right now, 75 is looking pretty good overall. It's the tertiary roads that are still having trouble. And my biggest concern will be that we get the sunshine, we get some melting, and we do get some refreezing. So I want everyone to be careful, through the day today, tonight, and also tomorrow morning. Watch out for that black ice. In Atlanta, Georgia, I'm meteorologist Stephanie Abrams.
Steph, thank you very much. You're exactly right. Much colder air is coming in. And so the roads in Alabama, in Georgia, in western South Carolina, and other places in the South are going to remain largely frozen today, making travel very, very difficult, despite the sun being out. That will help. But Steph is exactly right. The cold remains, and that will win today. Tomorrow will be much better. But right now, we're still dealing with some snow moving across Georgia and South Carolina right now in areas just west of Columbia, reporting some moderate snow. Commonly, 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches was reported in and around the Atlanta metro area, likewise across parts of Alabama, where 1/2 inch was reported roughly at Huntsville. Woodstock, Georgia, just north of Atlanta, 3/4 of an inch. Dobbins Air Force Base, just north of downtown, about 1 inch. We'll see what Hartsfield comes up with. I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere around 1.5 inches, maybe a little bit more than that. Across North Carolina, we're still seeing some snow right now. 32 in Raleigh, snowing also in Chapel Hill and Durham, the Tree Search Triangle. Farther to the west as you go, it will still be snowing in Charlotte for a couple more hours. And actually across this section of the Piedmont, we were going to be dealing with snow for much of the afternoon, likely into the overnight hours. It's going to accumulate a lot. I mean, the cold air is there. Surface temps are below 32 largely. Certainly the upper air temperatures are cooling rapidly. We're not going to be dealing with a lot of ice or freezing rain. It is going to be mostly a snow event across this part of the Carolinas and southern Virginia, including Norfolk as well, before the whole storm system moves on out to sea later on tonight and tomorrow morning. This is how much snow we think we're going to get when the storm is gone, right? There are going to be some places Probably get 5 to 8, closer to 5, I think, but still in that range. And likewise around that, a little bit less. But right in the center of North Carolina, that's where the maximum amount of snow is going to be in this part of the mid-Atlantic. Across the Northeast, we're dealing with some snow, rain right along the coast, Long Island, South Shore of Long Island, dealing with some rain. New York now 33 degrees and just cloudy skies, but Philly reporting some light snow and 28. Not a huge amount of snow left in this system. I mean, it's a frontal zone, same kind of system that we've been dealing with in the south, but it's got a little bit of a wave or a wiggle developing along that front today that's going to be traveling roughly offshore about like that and may lead to some enhancement, especially in coastal Maine and down east Maine later on today and tonight. But really, this is not going to be one of those giant developing systems that turns into a blizzard. No real risk for that, but we will still be dealing with a few inches of snow yet to come in the Northeast. Stay tuned for all the live coverage that we've got up and down the coast on Winter Storm Inga. We'll be right back.